But okay, let's say you want to go into internet entrepreneurship. You find the agency space, and then you see how many people are actually involved and how many people are trying to do something, how many people are making noise, right? How would you say is the best way to approach that? Do you try to go round? Do you try to look for something else? Like, how do you approach starting out nowadays within the model that you're doing?
Yeah, that's a really good question, right? And the first thing you need to understand, and you definitely know this, right? Like, is the fact that it's this echo chamber effect, right? Where like you think there's a lot of people in a space and that everyone knows about, you know, the agency model and building an e-com agency, but that's because you've congregated with people that are doing the exact same thing, right? Like you've joined certain groups that are, you know, maybe on Facebook that are around that, right? You follow certain YouTube channels, you follow certain Instagram accounts, right? And these people do too. But when you compare it to like the world's population, it really is a tiny percentage, and there really is a big ocean, right? That's the first thing. Now, the next thing you need to understand is, out of all those people that create this noise, right, and that are, you know, following, you know, these groups and you know, talking about it, you know, the agency model and discussing it and thinking of starting it, like the percentage of people who actually take action is very, very low, right? So then you kind of go into like a smaller circle of people. Then from the people that actually take action and know what they're doing, again, a very, very small group of people, right? So then you get a smaller group of people, right? And then the people that actually take action, right, know what they're doing and actually generally care and are trying to build like a real business and be at the top of their game, very, very few people, right? And so it comes down to like, what type, you know, what circle are you in? Are you the type of person that's just gonna like sit around and, you know, hear about the agency space and not really take action? Cool, you're gonna be in a pool of people that are never gonna take action, and maybe they're gonna blame the fact that it's saturated. But when you generally commit to mastery, there's very few people that do that, right? And it's the same with everything in life. Like the amount of people that actually commit to mastery, I'm sure you've seen this, right? Like the amount of people that like are on Facebook groups, right? We've got you're the head model of our community on Facebook, right? On the client closers, and the amount of people in that group is an incredible community, right? But the amount of people that in that group that will never actually implement, because, you know, a free mastermind, we're posting a lot of great content on there, but the amount of people that will implement is only a certain percentage, right? So understanding that. Now, after understanding that is understanding that, you know, if you do reach that echelon of people that actually care and that actually want to commit to this and generally like have invested into themselves and know and have a clear plan of attack, once you've done that and once you've gotten crystal clear on that, then it's having this monopoly agency approach. And I've spoken about this on my YouTube as well, but the monopoly agency approach is understanding that you don't want to compete. You don't want to look at other agencies and be like, oh, I'm going to do that, I'm going to compete with them when you're starting out. No, right? You want to tap into a blue ocean, right? You want to competition is not good, right? Competition is for losers. There's a great, 0 to 1 is a great book by Peter Thiel. And he talks about this, right? The fact that competition is for losers, and the greatest companies started out with a very, very niche market and try to dominate that fast, right? And so if you try to go to the broad e-com space and compete with these e-com agencies that have been in the market for longer, sure, obviously you're going to get beaten out, right? And so that's why it's important to go niche fast, go small, and then try to dominate that market yourself. And then once you've gotten that authority, then you can broaden yourself up, because that it's just a complete different approach. And most people, unfortunately, they try to emulate the people at the top, and they don't realize that that's their chapter 21, and like you're at chapter 1, which is completely fine, because you can be much more agile than these bigger agencies, right? There are big elephants that cannot move around as quickly as you.